My blissful gorgeous said, now I am leading you into the treasure trove of Vedic wisdom of SriRamayanam through SriRamcharan Chumbini commentary on SriRamayanam. Ramayanam has been a torch divine, guiding billions of seekers of truth since last million years through life's complexities, offering timeless wisdom for navigating modern challenges and uncertainties. Sri Ram Consciousness Commentary, Sri Ramcharan Chumbini Commentary makes the million years old text accessible to English-speaking world for oncoming ages. Whether you are confronting dangerous situations, whether you are confronting difficult decisions, managing stress, seeking charity, or personal dilemmas, this torch divine Srimad Ramayanam provides thoughtful guidance drawn from one of the world's most revered philosophical texts. Consider dedicating a few hours daily for recitation and reflections. This might answer the life-size, unanswered questions we have been seeking all life, never found. This Ramayana commentary that has stood the test of time is going to provide in abundance, my dear friends. So let us begin. In the pastimes of Bhagavan Sri Ram traveled far and wide. It echoed in and out throughout the villages and woods and wilderness. Ladies assembled at each village corner, near a pond, beside a waterfall, well, river, or under some tree to talk about those three beloved beings who just passed this way hour ago, 2 hours ago, 6 hours ago, or a week, whose footprints were still visible so clearly as if Mother Earth herself is so enamored. She is unable to part with them. In many places, villagers adorned the spot with a small canopy and rocks and minerals and gems and leaves and flowers and fruits, making a small temple or shrine. There someone goes and offers a few eatables from the freshly cooked lunch or kindles a ghee flame. There it burns in that silence before the footprints in the shrine, my dear friends. And ladies come to see them, and tears rise to their eyes. And they think of them so much that they relive those moments when Ram was passing their village and they were looking unwinkingly. Many, through deep absorption, get their soul transported into those vicinities where Sri Sitaji, Sri Ram and Lakshman still passing by. They identify with all those ladies who might be looking at them at that very moment in their fortunate village. Dear friend, Vasantika, a village lady, began talking to her assembled friends. उपई को कुंवर हेरी, ये उपई को कुंवर हेरी, श्याम गौर धनु बाण तून धर, चित्रकूट अब आई रहेरी, इन्हीं बहुत आदरत महामुनि, समाचार मेरे ना कहेरी। Those aliens are some princes who are in their hunting expedition, some Irish and golden, adorned with bows and arrows they are. I hear settling in Chitrakoot, my hubby followed them and returned today, and he told me that great sages adored them so much. Oh, they suffered so keenly to keep their father's promise. Telling her friends thus, Vasantika's limbs thrilled, tears flew, and they all began to see Ram in their midst, my dear friends. Dear sisters, oh, I could not even see them properly. Those two passengers who went this way with a young lady, a moonshine face, could not be seen to my satisfaction. Their white chest, long arm, majestic gait, and fluid gestures blinded my eyes in the radiance of their light. I could not even know who they were, where they came from, or where they were going. My heart has deserted me since then, it is gone with them. Saying this, Pravrit Sundari is shedding tears of love. नीके कै मैं नविलोकन पाए, सखी यही मगजुग पथिक मनोहर, बल विदुवदन समेत सिधाए. Dear friend, those travelers haven't yet returned. Oh, how long will they be? How long I have to wait? Could you do something so that they come once more to our door? When will I see them passing along my sidewalk again? And Swati was shedding tears up. पुनि न फिरे दो वीर बताओ, श्यामल गौर सहज सुंदर सखी. बारग बौरी बिरेक बिकाओ. Varda sighed and said, Dear friend, could you ask someone where those travelers are going? Where did they start from? And who are they? What are their names? Will they return after completing their purpose and come back through this passage? Oh, they are still in their young age and someone has sent them to live in the forest. Tulsidas ji said, बहुत दिन बीते सुधि कछु न लही, गए जो पथिक गुर सांवरे सलोने सखी, संग नारी सुकुमारी रही. Friends, so many days have passed and I haven't heard any news of that sapphire and golden couple who went by this way. Could you tell me about them? Even though aliens, still they feel dearer than soul, and the most intimate friend feels as if God has made them by the essence of love and nectar. How they have become to my heart dearer than dearest is indescribable. I cannot describe. Shall I ever see them again in my life? And tears flow, my dear friend, from her eyes, and her lips slackened. And Mallika said, Sakhi jab te सीता समेत देखे दो भाई तब ते पढ़ी न कल कछूर न सोए. Ever since I have seen Sita ji and Lakshman and Ram, I have been lost in oblivion. My memory of them has become constant. Everything of the world has become tasteless and empty, so that my heart cries aloud, rising upon high hilltop of their sacred remembrance. Oh, their love-laden glances and smiles have taken away my heart. How are those Palestinian people who banished them to the soul of souls and the life of lives? And Shamaji said, आलेरी पथिक जयहि पथ परोसि धारे ते तो राम लखन अवध ते आए. Friends, do you know that the travelers who passed by here the other day are named Sita ji and Ram and Lakshman? They came from Ayodhya. Could you accompany me to those bushes? They may be hiding over there. Dear, I want to see them. They must be waiting for me there. As soon as I reach them, the light of a big smile will spread across their beautiful faces, in which I will be drawn. Then I will live in that ocean of light alone. Friend, let's go. This body won't survive any more delay. Then you will have to carry it. I can be resurrected by the shimmerings of their smile alone. Dear, let's hurry. And the Aruna Sakhi said, जब ते सिधारे यही मार्ग लखन राम जानकी सहित तब ते न सुधि लही है अवध गए जो फिरी के धो चढ़े विंध्यगिरी के हो काहू रहे सो कभू न कहूँ कही है. Dears, do you have any news yet? I haven't heard anything about them since they went away. did they return to Ayodhya, or did they climb the Vindhyachal mountain or settle down somewhere? No one told me my favorite news. What shall I do? Then a whisper came from a distance as though on the wind. They have made a beautiful cottage of leaves and twigs along the bank of Mandakini river. Oh, they have settled in Chitrakoot forest. 14 e- 14 years to fulfill the words of Father, and they will stroll around the forest to sanctify the hills and ponds and rivers and lands. The two princes will fix the ruins of sagacious beings and deliver the souls who have fallen in the darkness of ignorance. Madhulika Sakhi said, Dear friends, how are those parents, and how must be those kinsmen who sent these gem-like children into the forest? They are the soul of our soul, the life of our life, the love of our love, and dearer to the heart than the wealth of misers. Those gallant warriors adorned with bows and quivers have gone away without shoes, without lotus, without shoes and without any blanket. Those lotus feet with that tiny maiden, what will they do? Their gait expresses the love of their heart. Did you see how the lady preserved the footprints of the elder youth carefully, and the younger youth walked so as to save both of their footprints adoringly? Saying thus, her eyes became full of tears, my dear friends. Bathing in many ponds, crossing through many rivers and fountains, staying under many trees, racing through many velvety carpeted forest lawns, looking at the lush green forest, sleeping in the star-filled nights, under highly fortunate trees. Sita, Ram and Lakshman walked and walked and walked on and on and on, my dear friends. Suddenly they observed a sudden change in the hills and dales and valleys. The breeze, the sky, and the entire environment became different. So different, and why not? They had arrived to the area which had incarnated on the earth to serve Bhagavan as his abode. In this area came from his eternal Saket Loka Dham, and here is that transcendental land. Look Sita, look Lakshman, there is Chitrakoot, that hill looks like a boat. There are elephants in the forest, and the trees downwards the bottom. So look at the flying flocks of parrots. Dear, do you smell that heavenly perfume? Where is it coming from? Sitaji asked her husband Sri Ram. Trees of all kinds could be seen in abundance, apple and orange and pears and kadamba and mango and papaya and tamal and lemon, and wine full of grapes were scattered in in brilliant color everywhere, my dear friends. Many of the leaves were colored with the smoke of yajna fire. In the scintillating light of the sun, the distant hills shone with a strong feeling of welcome touching their hearts. Sita was busy fondling a deer. They had come from the forest inquisitively and shyly approached with wide eyes full of curiosity. Smelling her hands, they looked up at her face, as if to ask, Mom, where have you been all along? Sita pet their backs, showing them to Ram. Then they came close to him too, to smell his hands and receive his attention. The deer became so happy. Deers and doe became so happy among these three luminous beings. All along Sita asked Ram the names and qualities of the different splashy flowers. But here everything seems known from eternity. Every corner and bush and the path is perfectly known to them. Dear, we will live here and stroll on these green lawns all around. There is that, Sita spotted the sight. There is what? Asked Sri Ram. Oh, you forgot what sage Bharadwaj said? To visit sage Valmiki. His hermitage is there, shining on that plateau. Yes, you are right. How wonderful, Ram and Lakshman said in agreement. Now all of them missed off their feet in the cool waters of the Mandakini and freshened themselves with its sweet water. Collecting ripe fruits and flowers, they walked with respect towards Valmiki's ashram. And what a surprise! The sage was standing at his door, as though waiting their arrival. He embraced them all before they would even touch his feet, according to custom, my dear friend. Sage Valmiki cut a tall figure with a white chest, strong arms, long hair coiled on top of his head, and large, deep, meditative eyes. His complexion was golden. Of his own choice, he had accepted an older age form, but stood as if the embodiment of smartness and dynamism. He offered them seats and began his conversation gazing at Sita Princess on the topic of how her father himself had once gone through a sequence of strange circumstances. This was relished by all. The rich silence of the hermitage was interrupted by the sweet laughter of three listeners, and their hearts became cool, calm, and bliss entrancing. Then the disciples scattered in the nearby forest, picking up fruits and fruits for the ashram, began to wonder, what an ambrosial sound! Why is that wondrous trinity of laughter bring such joy to our hearts? They rushed back to the ashram and a great feast began between their eyes and the vision of their Guru, and seated with new visitors. But no sooner had they begun than their Guru's order came to prepare lunch. They immediately retired to the kitchen and soon returned with a banquet of fruits and pulp and nectar and sweet water, and bulbs and roots and freshly squeezed juices, my dear friends. Unfortunate as they were all together, then the sage showed them a place to rest. In the afternoon, the sage took them for a long walk, showing them the sights and telling them stories of Puranic antiquity. At the proper time, Sri Ram said, "My Lord, please accept our obeisances from Sage Bharadwaj and tell me about the place where we should live. The order of my father, my mother's consent, my brothers being king, and my darshan of you are all fruits of my previous great meritorious deeds. Please tell me where we can live without disturbance to anyone in this community. Warriors as you are, our movements must not agonize any of our neighbors. It is said that warriors as we are, our movements must not agonize any of the neighbors. It is said that those kings burn in the fireless fire on account of whom sages feel afflicted. Therefore, please tell us that pleasant and safe spot where I can live with Sita and Lakshman. I know, Ram, Valmiki ji said, you are the Lord of the universe and Sita is your cosmic agility. You are inconceivable beyond the flight of human intellect. The Vedas exclaim, no end, no end. He alone knows, Ram, whom you let know, because knowing you, one becomes you. It is by your own mercy that one knows you. Love and devotion are the only magnet to attract your mercy. Your form is not at all material, it is composed of pure Satchidanandam. Anandam, the bliss, ecstasy, and the absolute reality, the consciousness, and of course, bliss. By your Maya, this illusory energy, people see you as one of us mortals. To liberate, to redeem, to deliver us, you have assumed this form. You are on a mission, a sacred expedition, acting as an ordinary prince, seeing your pastimes. Fools become deluded, and the wise become blissed out. Dear Ram, you ask me where you should live, but I ask you, please tell me where you are not, and I shall show you the place to live.